All right, we up, we up. Just letting y'all know, happy Thanksgiving to everyone that celebrated, and those that don't, happy Thursday. You know what I mean? Uh, no, for tomorrow. I'm talking about happy Thanksgiving for tomorrow because I'm not gonna see y'all tomorrow. So we having our Thanksgiving special today. So we're gonna give it a chance for everybody to come in. Like I said, happy Thanksgiving. You know, we up here, man. This here is a trying times for the brothers that's on the inside. And this is for the brothers on the inside. You know, we here for them. And I just want y'all to know that I know y'all already know how much time I did. You know what I mean? We got a lot of brothers that's left behind, behind the walls. We fighting to get them out. I talked to one of the brothers, sisters today, helped them get a lawyer down in Florida. And we doing our thing, man. Like I said, this is a positive platform. This platform is trying to give back to the youth. I corrupted the very community that I should have upheld it. But I was a young man and had no one to guide me. So I did the things that I did to survive. I made it to the top of the street, what you call that, to the street echelon, and it's nothing to brag about. However you say it, I'm Jamaican, so just forgive me for whatever I said. All right. But anyway, I want y'all to know, man, I apologize to y'all for what I've done. You know what I mean? I apologize to the families that I've hurt from what I've done. And I want to take this time now because there's a couple of brothers that we lost, that we lost in the system that died in prison. You know what I mean? And I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of my comrades that didn't get a chance to make it, out there. Now I'm going to bring my sister, Miss T, up, who's going to explain to you what's going on, Miss T.
Yes,
hi. All right. Before you begin, I'm bringing you up as I speak because it's a tribute to my brothers that died in the system. So y'all know how serious I took this. You know what I mean? I mean, this is my brother, Big Manny. For those of y'all don't know, that's Brooklyn's finest. You know what I mean? Got locked up from 1988. You know what I mean? He had life in prison. He fought for his life. He fought every day in the law library. He was there with me. You know what I mean? Big Manny. All right? He died in the prison system of like a heart attack or something like that right before I came home. That's Manny from the Unknown crew in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Was official, was getting money, and it's not about getting money. He was young. He did what he had to do. He survived, and he made it to the top. Filthy rich, millionaire. Not to brag, just letting you know that all that money, he died with nothing in prison. The same as they had me scheduled to die with nothing in prison. You know what I mean? Now, here's his co-defendant, Shamik. You know what I mean? I'll tell you stories about them another time because, like I said, I'm not into that today. Today is giving back to y'all to let y'all know that the youth is listening and what I'm doing is working. And if I do something that you don't agree with, you know what I mean? I'm here to take suggestions as long as we speak respectfully to each other and we respect what we're trying to do with this platform. It's not to glorify anything. It's just to let you know that it's real, man. I just did 26 years in prison and these brothers got locked up before me. Shamik died a couple of years ago too. You know what I mean? Then we got my brother Delroy from Brooklyn. This is me and him back in 1999 in Allenwood Penitentiary. He came home and died as well. You know what I mean? Then we got my brother Divine. You know what I mean? He came home and died as well. So these are fallen soldiers that I just want to bring attention to so you know that the system is real. Prison is real. Saving our kids' lives is real. So we're just trying to guide them in the right direction. And that's what this platform is about. You know what I mean? So like I said, I don't care who did what, because I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of. And I'll be the first to say it, and I take responsibility for it. This young lady don't even know me, but she's a parole officer. She's not familiar with the platform yet, but she's gonna meet the brothers that DM'd me that got something from my platform. You know what I mean? So you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and you'll be able to let the people that you know that need this guidance, that need this type of wisdom, know where to come to try and get some type of guidance, because so much of us ask for help and don't know where to ask for help. So we just ask for it in our head. You know what I mean? Because no one is listening. You know what I mean? But I want y'all to know that I'm listening. You know what I mean? And a lot of my old heads telling me that, oh, the youngins ain't listen, unique, they ain't listen, they ain't that, they ain't that. Okay, let me try my approach. And then if that don't work, then I'll push back. You know what I mean? But right now, I'm here for you. You know what I mean? But Miss T, please tell them who you are, what you do, and what you've seen come in and out of this system. I'm gonna come off the screen because you're too beautiful for me to mess you up right now. So, you know what I mean? You don't need my black ugly self up here. So I'm gonna come off and let you ride. All right.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Miss T. I'm in law enforcement, like he said. So basically, what I deal with is 16 to 24, but they exceed that, so I'm dealing with like 27, 32. And the biggest question I always ask is, why don't you ask for help? And a lot of time it comes with fear, and they don't have the courage, and they don't know the right questions to ask. Right? So they would come in and we would have things set up for them, and they'll walk past. They won't pick up any information. Um, so what I suggest to them is always ask, and it doesn't matter if where you're at. If you see someone every day walking and they got a construction hat on, yo, bro, how can I get that information? But we have to get to that place where we are asking for help. The sad part is that what I experience, a lot of people, a lot of youngins that do time, that go in, is because they have OGs that's directing them in the wrong direction, right? I have them doing, um, they're doing time for guns that didn't belong to them, right? They were told, we're going to buy you some Jordans, we're going to keep your commissary good. And once they go in, they get nothing. Their friends are not calling them. They can't call nobody. There is no OG. All the things that they promise you, if you take this deal, it's not happening. Everybody's telling on each other. It's just a lot going on. So it comes from broken communities, broken homes. So I'm hoping that what I'm going to learn from this platform, and you all that's on here, is that we all learn how to pay it forward. Because that's what I see that's happening here. So if we can all pay it forward, doesn't matter. I don't deal with the politics, although that I'm in law enforcement. I'm a different vessel. So when they come to me and we build a relationship, doesn't matter what you did, it's what you're going to do. So some people hang themselves. It's not about me violating you. You violate yourself, right? So if I give you all the opportunities, it's about how you're going to take it. But we all need to be responsible for each other. So once we start doing that, building our own community, like this is a community right here. So it's like, if we're all pushing each other forward, we continue to take that back to the community. A lot of us have given up, right? So when you heard Unique say that the OGs will feel like, oh, they not listening, they knuckleheads, this and this and that, they don't. It's true. There are some that will not listen. Doesn't matter what you say to them, they will not listen, right? But the difference is who's speaking to them and who has consistency. They don't want to just hear someone just talking. They want somebody with action that's going to be consistent with them. And that's what's missing. Consistency is missing. So sometimes the help and just being able to tell your story, just letting somebody know that you need help and why you need help and with the areas you need help in. So being that I deal with a lot of young men, it's really hard for them to say if they can't read. I have young men that's told to retaliate because one of their homies got killed or whatever the case might be, where somebody knocks on their door and they call me. Yo, Miss T, they at my door. I'm trying to walk a straight arrow. I don't know what to do. Can you imagine the people that don't know, that they don't have a Miss T or they don't have somebody to call and help them make that decision, right? So even when you're trying to change your life, nobody knows. Everybody's switching. There's all these different gangs. Everybody looking for protection, or some people just looking for family. But everybody's turning. So it's time to be your own person and go the right direction and ask for the right help and go with the right people. So we're all kind of responsible for each other. And these communities don't give a shit about us. When I say that, I mean the projects and the hoods, the foundation. If you do something, if you get caught with a gun, they throw your grandma out on her head, right? So it is up to us that when we see the youngins and they wilding, that we grab them. Like some kids don't even know how it feels to be hugged. So sometimes it's hard for me. They want to hug me. I'm not really supposed to hug them, but those are the things that's missing. And what's missing is the guidance. What's missing is the consistency. What's missing is believing in them. What's missing is faith. What's missing is listening to them and treating them as a person and not as their mistake, not letting it dictate who they are. So it's very important that we respect each other. And that's missing. Respect is missing. And a lot of these OGs that get a couple dollars, whatever the case may be, they turn their back. They're not feeding no one. So when they getting it, you're not getting it. So it's just unfortunate that that's what's happening. And anybody that have any questions, I'm here for you. I have different resources that you could use. Him unique and give him, any questions that you may have or some direction that you need, resource. If I don't know it, I'll get the information. Know everything, I answer everything. The information questions to him, I'm happy to help. We understand that when I get gang members, I'm not telling you're going to be a gang, right? Because I don't know what reason you chose that path, right? So once they start, I build a relationship with them and they tell me why they chose that path, I have to tell them, listen, there's a time when you turn it on and off. Then once you start getting out the way, that means you develop your plan. So if you strategize and you're getting up and you're at work, or you're at school, or you're building with your family, or you move out the hood, you're out the way. So sometimes you can't just take the hat off like that. People be like, stop doing this, stop doing that. It's not about stop doing this, stop doing that. We know what the consequences are. We know we pick up a gun, we go into jail. We know this. But the sad part is that when we sit at the table amongst law enforcement and amongst our own brothers, we are looking over our shoulder for both. We're looking at my brother might take my life and this officer might take my life. That is a hard pill to swallow every day when you're walking out your building, when you're trying to decide who's against me, right? So it takes us to start modeling certain behaviors so we can give them mirrors. They don't have that mirror. They have the music. They have the OGs that used to get money that keep telling their old stories. Those old stories are not helping you survive right now. Who they used to be. What are you doing now? And if you're in a state right now that you're not doing well, they need to ask for help. So the biggest problem is asking for help, seeing the resources and taking advantage of it, and then holding whoever is guiding you accountable. But at the same time, you got to hold yourself accountable. You have to want different. And that's sometimes hard. That's hard where we're coming from. But we have to make the decision because nobody's going to make the decision for us. Nobody's going to make the decision for us. Nobody's going to hold your hand. But we need to come together because we are killing each other. And it breaks my heart. Because you know how sad it is when it's hard for me to say, no, put the gun away. You don't carry a gun. They looking at me like, miss. The true story where I live at, there's no such thing as put the gun away. You rather take a chance of getting caught versus getting caught lacking. So you get caught lacking, boom, you dead. You get caught with the gun, now you doing time. You doing time for a gun that you didn't even get to use. So it's so much that I want to say. But I got to give everybody a chance to speak. I just need us to understand that we are responsible for each other. We are to hold each other accountable. Just like this platform, everyone's on here. When you're talking to Unique and you get in his DM, you hold him accountable. He started it, you hold him accountable.
Yes, sir.
Whoever's on here as your brother, you hold them accountable. Who on here as your sister, you hold them accountable. You need something, you ask for it. Other than that, you won't get it. Closed mouth don't get fed. So it's a lot of things that needs to be in place, especially the older ones. Even if you're 25 and 24, you're still responsible for a 17-year-old. You're still responsible for a 14-year-old. So sometimes you got to grab them by the hand. Love is missing. That's missing. That word is missing. Like we started to develop bro, we replacing that from nigga, and I appreciate that. The bro and the sis, but it's the foe too. Like we got to understand it's the foe. So it's so scary because You could live right across the street from somebody, or you could go to school with somebody, or used to get light with somebody, or whatever it was. And now y'all on different sides. People going in jail and they folding. They changing. They don't have their own identity. But they need protection because we're all against each other. So somebody needs to put the word out, and somebody needs to stick together. We are divided. And it needs to sicken everyone every time we see it. That's the only way we're going to make change if we want change. So thank you. I'll be on here again as many times as you need me to. I just want everyone to stop telling the youth to stop. You have to help them get there. It's not just stop, because what are you going to put in place of it? Like, you have to be able to put something in place of the stop. You shouldn't do this. Not you shouldn't do this because I did this and look where it had me. What are you going to provide for me so I can stop doing that? How are you going to guide me to where I need to go? And are you going to be there for me? Can I hold you accountable? A lot of us don't have that. When we're coming from our homes, we don't have dads, you know. Sometimes our mom is working overtime. Like, we just need someone who is going to be accountable and responsible and hold us down. So it's really important that we pay this forward. Thank you.
I would thank you. You know, you appreciate it. Now, I want y'all to know that the other day, Monday, was November 23rd. That was my youngest son's birthday. He's 27 years old. I've been down 26 years, right? And in those 26 years, I fought like hell to get out. You know, I had life plus 20 with no chance of parole, but I refused to die in prison. You know what I mean? Because I'm unique, you know, and I'm not going to let nothing and no one take nothing from me, not even my freedom. So I never allowed them to cage my mind. My mind stayed on the street, stayed with the youngins that was coming in from the street to learn the streets when the other old heads wouldn't listen to them. You know what I mean? They say, oh man, that's the generation out there. They pants sagging, they this, they that, they on pills, and they got all this negative to say about the generation we left behind. We wasn't there. So how could we blame them if we wasn't there for them? You know, we abandoned them by our choices. So we abandoned our children, our women, you know what I mean? Our families. And then we want to try and hold them accountable for their actions when we wasn't there to shape them. You know what I mean? And that's what's sad. So that's why I started this platform. You know what I mean? Of course, you know, I had to start off showing who I was, which is like my little mini documentary of the level that I've elevated to and what I've done. So the people looking, they know that back then I was that. You know what I mean? So I'm qualified today to speak because I got where they're trying to get right now. You're trying to get to the top of the food chain to be a kingpin. I made it to be a kingpin. I'm not proud of it. I lost my freedom. I lost my children. I lost my woman. I lost my mother. I lost everything. You know what I mean? From being a kingpin. It was fun while it lasted. But laying down for 26 years in a 4x8 cell was nothing fun about that. And that's what I'm here to tell y'all today. So don't think when I talk my fly stories like tomorrow I might be, it's Thanksgiving. So tomorrow's a happy day. You know what I mean? Tomorrow I'm dropping a video that I did where I got from, what was the homie name? From Children of the Corn. You know, Spit, Brother Spit, and the other brother. You'll see it tomorrow. It's official. You know what I mean? But it's a happy video. It's a video with them laughing, me laughing. I got the Fendi jacket on. I was at the Dapper Dan shoot. I mean, where the Dapper Dan joined at the K-Say shoot. You know what I mean? And I did my thing. You know what I mean? So don't think that I'm changing from where I'm at when I drop this video, because Miss T, it's like now that I have the youth attention, you know what I mean? I have everyone trying to pick at me. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to save the children. But if I was talking about all the money, cars, girls I screwed and everything, I'll be the man and I'll be fitting in. But because I'm doing the opposite of what everyone else is doing, I became a villain. For me trying to save the youth, I became a villain. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't listen. If my child is drowning, I don't care if the devil stick his hand down and save him. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say, nah, let him drown. Wait till God come. Save my child by all means necessary. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the tools I use, you might not agree with. You know what I mean? But it's necessary to reach the youth because those are the tools that they've been used to. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not to disrespect anyone. I'm just trying to save the youth. You know what I mean? And that's why I brought you up here so that you could understand. And I want the old heads that think that the youngins is not listening. You understand what I'm saying? That they are listening to me. And I'm proud of that, you know? But let me get back to that. My son's birthday was the 23rd on Monday. He turned 28. You know what I mean? I say 27 so you understand that I ain't seen this boy at all. I was never on the street, not for one of his birthdays in 28 years. This is my first time free for any one of this young man's birthday. And I fought like hell to get here. But guess what happened, Miss T? I lost him. Stayed prison doing 29 years with no chance for parole. 29 years. He got that at 18 years old. I lost my child. 9 years he's been in prison. His name is Mahdi. Happy birthday again, Mahdi. That was the 23rd. You understand what I'm saying? So I get passionate about that. I broke down on here just thinking about them while I'm sitting here trying to talk to them to let them know that I'm trying to save your kids because no one tried to save mine. And they can't see I'm trying to save their kids. I'm trying to guide their children because we all need guidance.
Absolutely.
I needed guidance that I didn't have.
Absolutely.
And from my guidance, I did the best that I could. And I turned into a kingpin.
Absolutely.
And was taken away from my family. And I'm not proud of it. So let's get that straight. You know what I mean? So like I said, you might not like the tools that's being used to reach the youth, but please let me reach the youth.
You will.
You know what I mean? You know, RPT said, are we going to mention how a lot of this starts in the home with parents not parenting? I'm 46 and still scared of my pops, and he can't walk. That's fear he instilled in me. Thanks, pops. I appreciate you. Okay, I hear that. But in my situation, and many other situations, I wasn't there as a father. So you lucky you had your father there to put that fear in you. You know what I mean? My father wasn't there for me. I wish he was there to put that fear in me. Then maybe I wouldn't have been a kingpin. Maybe I would have been out there and raised my children so I wouldn't have lost my youngest son. You know, just like, I'm going to give you a good one real quick. I saw this while I was in prison. Everybody attacked Joe Jackson because Michael Jackson came out and said Joe was too strict. He beat him. He this, he that, he that. He shaped you into the greatest entertainer in the world, man. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, he was hard on you, but you could have wound up in prison. You could have wound up dead. Instead, you became the greatest entertainer in the world from this man pushing you.
Right. That's what's needed.
Pushed you to be the greatest.
Right.
And you don't got so much money that now you feel like you hate him because you didn't like the tactics. He protected you from the world because you were 7 years old, Mike.
Right.
You couldn't walk the streets. You understand what I'm saying? You know, and definitely some of the old heads need help. Go ahead, Miss T, speak.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to touch that. You know, it's unfortunate that that's the situation too. So sometimes it come off as the blind leading the blind, right? So you might have the youngins out there saluting the cars and the money and things like that, and then you're like, you know different. Like you might put me on to how I'm gonna get some bread that I may end up in jail, right? So now you got me carrying or doing whatever needs to be done while you driving, and I'm idolizing you. I'm thinking you the man, and I don't know what you did to get that, right? But they don't school them in that way. Like there used to be times where we had buses taking these kids never saw Donny Park, Great Adventures, like all the basketball tournaments, the community centers, all of that's gone, right? So everybody minding their business. Oh, they gonna go through Harlem. They gonna open up a spot. We gonna support each other. That's what they call it. Support black businesses, right? So we support Black businesses, but you not giving back, right? It's like I put this store up here, I sell my shirts. You come and you buy them. But you know, half of them that's coming in there, whatever they repping, whatever chains the RIPs, names all over their body. You in there, you an OG, you know how you got here. You're supposed to pull them to the side. Like, listen, let me get you a job. Let you start selling some shirts. Sell them outside. I want to save you. So when I instill that in you, you're going to instill that in somebody else. So that blind leading the blind is scary. And like the young man said about his father, right? So sometimes it's the parents that's in the house still don't parent. So that doesn't help either because you're still lost. So it takes for someone like you or other ones who are on here to say, hey, you know what? I want to take that responsibility. I want to see somebody and grab them by the hand and say, listen, let me mentor you for free. Because it costs them everything, right? So when we're out there and we taking somebody by the hand, I have 22 on my caseload, and I might have 2 knuckleheads that I knew that was going to come in and they was going to go in and out the system. So what happens is once I evaluate them and go to their home, I'm like, if I tell you, I'll give you a whole platform and say, listen, go to work, do this. I'm going to get you a New York State ID. A lot of kids don't even have a New York State ID. So we can't keep telling them, drop the gun and go get a job. In between dropping the gun and go get a job, they don't know the line. They don't know which way to go. All right, I'm gonna drop the gun. There's no real drugs out here because if you still out here nickel and diamond, like there's no what are we doing out here? You understand what I'm saying? So it's like now this problem is the guns. The problem is the guns. But unfortunately, it's the guns amongst each other. So we keep talking about Black Lives Matter. They have to matter to us. We have to matter to each other. We have to understand where the fear is coming from because I understand it. I have 2 boys, 20 and 25. That's real to me. That's scary. When I hug them tight every day they leave. And I try not to cry because I'm scared. I don't know if they're going to make it back.
Yeah. That's deep. That's deep.
And that's every mother or every parent when they kid leave out that door to the grocery store, they losing their lives, going to get bread, going to work, trying to mind their business. So that's every parent's pride and worry that their child is not going to make it, not, and whether it's by the hand of law enforcement or whether it's by the hand of their neighbor. So that's where we need to. That's the attack that we're under right now. So we don't come together, we're going to keep falling. And we cannot be strong divided. We can't be strong divided. So it takes the OGs to turn around and say, listen, young brother, this is what I have for you. But a lot of the OGs they're not even doing nothing. They go get a regular job and they call themselves minding their business until their niece or somebody get killed out here from walking outside because they're minding their business.
Hey, you know what's crazy though, Miss T? Growing up, and even when I went to prison, when I was adult, I was in my late 20s. You know what I mean? It's like I call the guy. I'm gonna speak about me. I caught the guys that work squares, suckers. You know what I mean? But then I sat in the cage for 26 years. So you tell me who's the square when I'm sitting in the square 4x8 cell for 26 years. You know what I mean? It took me all that time looking at those walls to realize that I was the square.
Listen, they putting these young men in jail, right? By just somebody on the other side of the door saying they was with me. They had a young man that they was going to put murder on. Nobody was killed. Nobody was shot. But they pinned murder to see if it could stand. We're dropped down to robbery, right? But he's remanded. So being that his parents are not articulate and they don't have the funds, he's going to sit there and the justice system is going to swallow him. So when you go inside the courts, right, where we need to be advocates and a support team is when you go in the courts, if you randomly walk in the courts, there are so many young men, young adults that have no one there with them at court. When the judge look up, that's what they looking for. Who's with this person? Nobody. So we even need things like that. We even need somebody to go to court with a young person. Because they see you, they're like, oh, we're gonna railroad you. We're gonna like Bronx defenders and all that. They're gonna railroad them, they're gonna throw the book at them. Because nobody's gonna sit there and say, you're not taking that. They do it out of fear. So they don't have a lawyer. They don't have no support. So they scared and they taking anything. They taking anything. So it starts there. It's unfortunate that we got to have funds for lawyers. As parents, we have to have college fund and bail money and lawyer money. That's how real it is. Every day, your dollar is divided, and my child may need a lawyer.
Exactly.
It's that real. So it's so many different routes. But what I'm here for is to find out, where do we start, right? Because I can talk about this, that, but we got to start somewhere. And if we can stop them from killing each other, that's where I want to start at.
There you go.
We could talk about jobs, we could talk about all of that, but until we go inside the hood and get the person that's calling the shots, we got to get the person that's behind calling the shots, that's setting it out. Go do a head tap. Go do this. It's a lot of directors and all these chiefs, all these Indians rather, in their own little cliques with no guidance. So it's like scattered roaches, but everybody knows somebody and everybody knows who's calling the shots. So until we get them together, all these apes and hats and all these different types of blood, they don't even know what they talking about.
Yeah.
They don't know what they representing. They don't know where it start from, but they looking for some type of security. And that's unfortunate, because that's how real it is. So I can't preach to the choir and they're looking at me like, well, how you going to save me? Can I live with you? That's some of the kids that I deal with. Can I live with you? And that's real. So we're outside in fear of our life for a kid that's never been told, I love you. That's never been hugged by another man. So they're not going to listen to another man. They wasn't raised by a man. So they are modeling what they see and they piece it together. I like him. I like him. I like him. That's me. So it's a big identity crisis out here.
See, let me put this up here. This is the brother that we just spoke to, RRT, that mentioned about his father, how he walked, and after we spoke to him and gave him a different vision, a different way of accepting, the circumstances that he went through, which was way better than mine. 26 years in a cage with no father with me. So that strict father, like I said, now this resonated. Now he said, I should mention none of my friends had their father. I do understand that I'm blessed. Again, thank Pops, and thank you, Pops, for being there for RRT. What else did he say? Let's put that on the screen. I like to see when people see the change. This channel is literally a building session. If you don't love this, that's just hate in your heart. I'm just trying to help, man. I'm just trying the best I can. So when I walk away from this and y'all miss this, know that y'all ran me from this. But I attempted and I stuck by my word and the oath that I made myself, that once I'm released, I will try and save someone else's child, because no one was there to save mine. No one attempted to save mine. So I'm going to attempt to save yours as long as you allow me. Ron Boogs also said something that I want to put up here, and then I'm going to start bringing in the other young brothers. He said, game been over, but if we all stick together legally, like we did in the days when we sold drugs, crack, and everything else, we will be strong as hell. And yes, Ron Boogs, that's facts. Now, that's my brother. So you know who Ron Boogs is. He got his radio show, Old Harlem. So y'all make sure y'all check out my man's radio show, because I listen to it all the time. The brother Double J DJ the music, send it over to Ron, and they sticking together. Ron is not even a DJ. When the comrades started, Ron wanted to give something back to the people. So he reached out to Brother Double J and other DJs and said, hey, make me some mixtapes. You know what I mean? You know, so that I could play them to warm my people's hearts while we trapped in the house. And I'll sit there and read the comments and let them know that we're here together. That's what family do. We come together in pandemics, in crisis. You know what I mean? That's what we do. You know? And Peso said, if these young kids take the same energy they put into their gang and put it towards a legit hustle, we have seen more successful young brothers. And Perso, we will. We will. It takes them time. It took me time. I didn't learn to read until I was 30-something years old, Miss T. I didn't even know my ABCs.
It's real.
But nobody couldn't cheat me on that triple beam scale. Because I was taught to read that. You know what I mean? They never robbed me on that scale. You know what I mean?
Right.
I robbed myself of education.
But I even tell them that too. Like, if you knew how to hold the blocks down, then you a banker. Like, you got to understand how you turn what your street hustle legally, you're still smart, right? But the unfortunate part when they don't have the basics, and I mean, what we could start doing is start the people that's on here start saying, do you have a New York State ID? Like, it's really that small. It's a basic such thing as, do you have a New York State ID? I have kids going in the bathroom to call me, to ask me how to spell this or how to help them read an application. So it's easy when they start saying, you know, put that energy into being successful. They stopped 7th grade. They stopped 6th grade.
Look, I'm gonna speed this up and bring them in, but I'm gonna give them the last cliche of my twisted life. I got in trouble so much as a juvenile and as a child, and being that I couldn't read, when me and my brother started hustling, and he left to go down south, where I got my case from sending drugs to him to make sure he ate, because I love him with all my heart. The feds killed him. You know what I mean? He died as a part of this case. But I used to have to, and thank God for USA Airline, they had that shuttle from New York to DC and from New York to Norfolk, Virginia. I used to get letters in the court and from the court system telling me when to go to court or whatever is going with court, and couldn't read it. I used to have to jump on a plane, fly to Virginia for the only person that knew I couldn't read to read my letter to tell me when I go to court.
Imagine that. Imagine it's a million of you walking around right now.
I already knew. And the thing is, I did so good on the street, they felt that, they never even thought that I couldn't read. I did a Kevin Childs video that I didn't even drop that part yet. I got so much stuff I didn't even drop. But I'm going to drop a Kevin Childs joint where I broke down when it was a beautiful young lady just like you. And I really cared about her. You know what I mean? But she figured out I couldn't read. And that was the demise of our relationship, because now I was embarrassed to face her because I felt she looked at me as a fool. And I was a multi-millionaire 10 times over. I had 30 cars in 10 different garages. You understand what I'm saying? And couldn't read. And when she found out and said, nigga, you can't read, I turned around, took her to her house, and never seen her again. 3 years later, she popped up at Club 2000 and apologized for the way she came out at me when she found out I couldn't read.
But look, your era was about money. This is not even about money. So that's so now we have the ones that can't read that turning into anger. So that's the scary part, because they're not going to tell. So the embarrassment creates anger. There's no money in this. It's not even about drugs. They lost their value, and we have to give that back to them. We have to tell them that they do matter. We have to tell them that they are important. We have to tell them that we do believe in them. We have to motivate them, rebuild them, and let them understand that it does not matter what they say and the naysayers and whoever say, law enforcement, your mother said, whoever said. You are somebody, and they need to hear that. You are loved. You are cared about. They need to hear that. I am proud of you for every little step. If they hear that, that gives them hope. There's lost hope out here. They're angered and they're lost.
Okay. Now let's get into what this show is about. I mean, this was really riding. I got to bring you back with just me and you talk, buddy, because I don't want to hold the young brother.
Right.
But I mean, we could go on all day, and I see the numbers is up, so they're definitely listening. I'm gonna bring in the young brothers. When I broke down the other day on here from the loss of my son to the system and the resistance I got from trying to save other people's sons, nieces, and nephews. You know what I mean? Some of these young brothers hit me up to let me know don't give up, to let me know they was listening. Because I thought they wasn't listening. Because I started listening to the old heads say, man, you wasting your time. They ain't listening. Right? You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to bring my brother up here, you know, your number one addiction. I hope you're ready, so I'm going to bring you up here and you start stuttering because this beautiful young lady keeping the audience captivated. You know what I mean? So I'm letting you know I'm bringing you up, big bro. You know what I mean? And Philly Blunt, get ready. You up, son. All right? Big bro.
How you doing?
Tell them how we met.
All right. Well, I hit his DM on Instagram. I hit his DM on Instagram and I told him that I believed in his whole vision. Because the thing about it, I told him that I liked his whole movement and I supported it. Because at one point in time in my life, I did incarceration. And sometimes people don't know you can be buried alive a lot of times and you can walk through that cave, but how you come out the cave, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when I came home, I realized that like a lot of things that people encouraged me to do, if they was a real big homie for real, they wouldn't have set me up because they set themselves up before somebody else got them. So that I seen his push and things like that. So I hit his DM and he hit me back. And I told him I was an image consultant. And he was like, well, what can you do for my image? I said, I can't do anything for your image, Unique. I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, you got like a godlike energy. So he hits me on a video chat. So I think it's a game. I thought it was somebody trolling in. I thought it was a fake page then. So he hit me on video chat. So I answer, it's Unique. So he know I'll stutter. So I sat up there and we were talking. And I told him, I'm like, I actually found out about Unique through Miss T. And I had seen Miss T, and she did an interview, not you.
Right, another
the
Miss
other one, the Harlem Heroine.
The Harlem Heroine. Big shout out to Miss T, always holding it down.
Miss T, salute. So I found out about him through Miss T because, like, rest in peace, my grandpa, he had died on Thanksgiving when I first came home in 2017. So, like, I was sitting in the house and I was watching a documentary with Miss T, and she talked about a lot of people on this documentary. But what had captivated me is Unique. She spoke about him and it was like a different type of energy, and it wasn't a visual. This was the audio. And when she spoke about him, she had a whole different type of energy about him and everything else. So that the energy about him, it made me want to do like research. Because like Club 2000, I'm like, what is that? Then like he had a whole catchphrase. So I went and I did what we normally don't want our kids to do, what I want our kids to do all the time, homework. So I went on there and I looked him up and I seen his clemency. And I was like, man, why nobody never talked about this dude? And just so happened, I sees another interview with him and he was out of jail. And like, I paid attention when he told me that he couldn't read and like the things that he went through. And he said, but I survived. Remember, it's not how the story starts out, it's how you finish. You know, like, at one point in time, they couldn't go and just sit on the internet and get paid to talk or something like that. They weren't given plenty opportunity. People actually were blackballed. You didn't just have the internet. So they did what they had to do to survive. But at the same time, he came back and denounced his whole move. And was like, whoever tricking you to do that, I done did it already. That's what they talking about. But it's kind of hard sometimes when you sit there and you have to realize that certain people, like if we are taught and encouraged to do the wrong thing, for somebody to come out and be like, to try to reverse you, it's kind of difficult at first. You're not really going to feel that whole vibe. But remember, he did 26 years and he didn't sit in there and play pinochle on basketball the whole time. He actually educated himself. So like he had a consistency and focus about himself. Even though they say you'll never get out of jail, imagine something says a flag on it says natural life. I done seen people lose it. So, like that being said, and me seeing that and seeing him be persistent behind no matter what he does and be staying true to yourself. And I like his clothing line. I like that a lot because that's what a lot of times black people, I mean, I'm just saying it. Black people, that's just what we don't do. We don't even exact the right to plead the fifth. But hey, but at the end of the day, it's all about being a man, and he's a man. I respect his vision. It's a strong vision. I mean, for somebody that couldn't read, he trademarked the word. Are you serious? He had a catchphrase. It's almost like yelling for the police in the jail, but you know you ready to get a ticket if you yell out police. He had a catchphrase, and he got paid. So like, hey, it's all salute. It's all hey, it's all about you right now, Unique. 26 years. I mean, it's all up to you. But you the real big homie because at the same time, you're not encouraging somebody to do what you did. You discouraging the whole move. Because you like, look what it got me. Who wants to sit in the closet for 26 years and be warehouse? Somebody ain't never been there that don't know. They get tricked. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, it's like our youth. I'm still a youth because I'm 34. But I'm saying like the rest of our youth, like think about it. They have serious mental health issues. Us as black men, we ain't seen no therapists out here. And then, all right, imagine when you went to jail, what was it, 93, 94? There was a lot of dads that went out here because my mom raised me. So imagine we just had leftovers. There were nothing left but sheeps because the feds came through and they grabbed all the shepherds. It's over. So I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I know y'all got a lot of people to put on. I'm not gonna go on and on. Y'all follow me. I do this on YouTube. I just try to reiterate the message because if you save one person, I believe that you saved the whole generation. But we as a whole and collective, we can do a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times it's mental health. Because a lot of times, why do people have a vice? That's why I put up there your number one addiction, because everybody has a vice. They may not can't look in the mirror every day and be happy with the reflection that looks back. That's a lot of times. But I mean, once you find yourself, a lot of stuff doesn't even matter. Gangster, anybody can be tough. It takes somebody that's really, really serious to make peace. Anybody can be reckless. Anybody. We can't hear you, Unique. It's my show now, I think. I'm on TV.
Now I left it out just so that we can have the floor.
I told my mom I was gonna say it. I told my mom, I said, Mom,
I'm gonna shut the F up and let y'all know. All right. Hey, Miss T, I hope you enjoy because you've never seen this platform before. So now you get to see, you know, the impact that I had on the people. Now I'm gonna bring up Brother Barrett late. Yo, Barrett, you ready? Tell me you ready, big dog, so we can go on and do this. You know what I mean? So you gotta unmute your mic, dog. Yeah, there you go.
Hey, sorry about that. How you doing, Mr. Hall?
How you doing, sir?
How you doing, platform? Yeah, you know, my story is it's not unique, you know, it's a mixture of everybody's story. But what drew me to Mr. Hall is that, you know, he has a real purpose. And I think that if he gets it out there in a certain conduit on a certain broadcast, that he'll be able to reach a lot of the youth. And not just the youth, because he also needs to speak to the adults. Like he said, he brings the men out. So when the men come out and they had that discussion, hopefully that'll be more positive and it'll be more structured and constructive for brothers like myself. I'm 38, you know, I'm part of the youth. But the younger youth is the ones that we really need to pay attention to because they're the ones that's out here wilding. And when I reached out to Mr. Hall, he hit me back. And, you know, I just thought it was like, you know, it was like a blessing because I don't really talk to much people. I really don't reach out to much people. I had a dad in my household. I was fortunate enough to have that. And broken homes make broken people, hurt people, hurt people. And, I dealt with the short end of the stick. I got the hard part of it. We didn't get the money, but a lot of drug addiction ran through my family. A lot of penitentiary ran through my family. Uh, Luckily, I was able to be out here, a free man. Made a lot of poor decisions, but what I get from Mr. Hall is that the game ain't over, man. It's just starting. It's a new game now. What was done back then, we could put that away. We got to do something better. Got to look forward to a brighter future. Like Miss T said, nobody talks about the love that's not really being spread through the community. Uh, people don't even know their next door neighbors. They don't even know the people across the street. So it's a lot of division. And I think Mr. Hall could bridge that gap, and bring people together. I think he has the potential to go across the country and really make a change. And I appreciate that guy, man. I really do, really do.
Okay. Thank you, big bro. You know what I mean? Let me bring brother NC in. Brother NC, you up, baby? You know?
What's going on?
Yeah, you on, baby? Your mic on mute, right?
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's up, Unique? What's up, everybody?
How you doing?
All right. I really appreciate the opportunity to do this show tonight, too.
Mhm. Tell them how. What are you on here, and what have you watching my podcast done to you or influenced you? What did you get? What have you been getting from my podcast? Hold on, where he at? Here we go. Excuse me, we didn't hear you. My bad. Huh?
Can't hear him.
Can't hear you. Is his mic on or his mic? Yeah, your mic on, dog. Let me hear you. We can't hear you, big dog. Yo, Philly Blunt, we got to bring you in while we get his mic right. You know what I mean?
Y'all hear me now?
Yeah, we hear you now. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my bad. But yeah, man. First and foremost, how to deal with a lot of pain. You know what I mean? From seeing you on Flip the Script, and first and foremost, seeing you on there, then seeing every episode of your podcast progress, and you speaking on from your children, from the losses that you had, from the things that you went through with your family. Like 2020, it all came crashing down on me like right after I seen that podcast.
Which one?
The one with Flip the Script is when you really all down.
That's the beginning. Okay.
Yeah, at the beginning, at the very beginning. And I don't know, it was like you were sent, to prepare me for what I was about to go through, bro. Like real talk, man. From losing family, losing friends, I lost a best friend this year, and my son lost a best friend this year. So it's like me learning how to deal with that, but also, what do I tell my son? He only 13. But no matter what, my mother's 50th birthday was on the 11th, and Unique, he FaceTimed my mom. And my mom been talking about this guy, and I remember when you first was on Flip the Script, she said it was like we was watching at the same time, man. It was everything aligned at one time, man, and brought us all together at once, man. But even on her birthday, I was at my lowest point, man. Even on my mom's birthday, and it was just sad to see, how she was upset. But once you caught her, man, everything was cool, bro. Everything was cool, man. She was so happy you called. She didn't think you was calling. She,
I reach out, I answer my DMs, I call people, I try and
yeah,
do.
and you're a real personable person, man. You know, and the way you get personally in touch with people, and you know, we talked about, like I said, man, your book. I wrote a book. It took for you to come home for me to see, man, you know what, man, I'm about to do my book, man. Unique to have millions of dollars, man. He ain't looking for, you know, he ain't looking to make no money off no book. So if he didn't put a book out, it gotta have a purpose. It gotta be a reason, you know, because that's the hardest thing to do in our community is get us to open a book, you know, but it's the easiest. It's the easiest.
Okay, all right. Philly Blunt, you ready, big bro? You know? All right, now we're gonna bring the good brother Philly Blunt in. Thank you, brother. Thank you all for sharing. I'm gonna bring another brother in.
All right, so
What's good, y'all?
How you doing?
Cool, man. Cool. You know, basically, man, this platform has definitely helped me, you know, change my mentality a lot. Just seeing the positivity that you radiate, man. You know what I'm saying? Through your trials and tribulations. You know what I mean? Doing 26 years, coming out with a smile on your face, man. Good vibe. You know what I mean? And just, you know, trying to save the youth. You know what I'm saying? Like that touches me, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of OGs, man. A lot of my family, man, they not on that type of stuff, man. You know what I mean? My brother died when he was 28, 2 days after my birthday in '97. He did a prison term, you know what I'm saying, in Lord prison. That was like my father figure, man, you know what I mean? And I always said, if I never amount to nothing, man, I could be a drug dealer just like him. I carried that mentality for a really, really long time, man. And I sort of moved like that, you know? I really like the streets, you know what I'm saying, as far as like just the lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? Because I saw my brother doing them when I was a little kid, you know what I'm saying, in the 80s. And even though I didn't really understand what it was back then, growing up, you know what I mean, as a teenager and all that stuff, it was like I glamorized and idolized things that I saw, and I put it into my life, you know what I'm saying? So it was just crazy, man. So when I come across Unique, you know what I mean, like I was in a really, really dark place, you know what I'm saying, about life. What should I do, you know what I'm saying? Should I go back to the streets, you know what I'm saying? The job thing wasn't really working out. I was just back and forth, you know what I'm saying, in my mind, like, what should I do, you know? And I come across an interview with this man, and this is positivity, you know what I'm saying, about he's not mad at anybody for his past, you know what I'm saying? And he's very apologetic about the things that he did in his life, you know what I mean? So at 56, if he could say that about his life, then why at 38 can I not, you know, apply that same math to my life, you know what I'm saying? I didn't live Unique's life, you know what I'm saying, on that level, but I could apply his message to my life, you know what I'm saying? And as a result of that, the streets is no longer an option. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like the negativity and the mind state is not gonna happen, man. You know what I mean? I love my freedom, man, and I've been locked up. I did a short little term, you know what I'm saying, in DC jail. That was enough. You know what I'm saying? That's all I needed, man. That cage. That shit is crazy, man. You know what I mean? But even when I came out of jail, I still was doing shit that I shouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? Excuse my language. You know what I mean? I was still doing things I shouldn't have done. And you know, Unique definitely changed my mentality, man, a lot. And then I appreciate you, Unique, man, you know what I'm saying, for having this platform, man, and even bringing us all on here, man, to share our stories with you, man, you know what I'm saying? And you definitely motivating us, man, you know? I mean, straight positivity, brother. I appreciate you, man. Like, you got a wave of energy, man, that's never been seen out here, man, you know? Ain't none of these dudes out here like you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, the positivity, bro, is like, you make it cool to be positive, if I could say that. You know what I mean? Because a lot of my youngins that I know, man, they not on that. And my OGs, they not on that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the only thing we glorify is the guns, the drugs, the women. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? And especially when you high, you know what I'm saying? You messing with the pills, you smoking water, whatever you doing, weed, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that stuff in the street, man, it's just like normal, you know? having a pistol, that's normal stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when it becomes normalized, you don't realize really what you're actually into until you get out of it. You know what I'm saying? So big up to you, Unique, you know what I'm saying, for making positivity and the positive vibes cool, man. Like, I feel cool being positive, you know what I'm saying, because of you, bro. And that's real talk, man. Word to God, that's because of you, man. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't know who Unique was right now, man, who knows what choices I would have made a couple of months ago, you know what I'm saying? If I would even be here right now. You feel me? I got a lot of homies in the grave, man. I got a lot of homies in the jail right now that's doing time, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Like, I've always wanted to be a positive person because I feel like I have a good heart. But a lot of times, man, life doesn't match a good heart. Your environment doesn't match a good heart. And ain't nobody respecting a good heart, man. They'll think you a bitch or you a sucker for real. You know what I'm saying? If you even show that kind of heart, you know what I mean? So for Unique, you know what I'm saying, to do it, I mean, you've been at the top of the chain, bro, when it comes down to it. You know what I'm saying? And you're denouncing all that stuff, man, and trying to bring people together, man. That's the main thing that I love about you, bro, is that you're bringing everybody together, man. You know, it's like church. Every time I come here and I listen to you, man, it's like church, bro. I feel spiritually lifted up, man. And I've never had that before, you know what I'm saying, as far as like something like this. So I appreciate you, Nick, man. Salute, bro. Real talk.
Thank you, bro. Like I said, man, I'm just trying to give back to save someone because I lost mine and myself. You know what I mean? Because I lost myself when I got my 29 years because I didn't know no better. I made a lot of wrong choices. You know what I mean? And I was scared of change and didn't like, you know what I mean? And didn't like none of that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, man, it's just so hard. Like I said, 26 years I worked to get out here with my son, man. And when I get here, he's gone. The first birthday that I was a free man on my son's birthday, like I said, was Monday. The next chance I have, if I don't get him out of prison on appeal, I'll be 70 years old when I'm a free man out here with my son, my youngest son. I'll be 17 years old when I get to hold him on free soil, if we don't get him out. But when we get him out, we got to change his mindset so he don't go back. You know what I mean? So that's why I give him tough love from in here, from out here, so that when he's in there, I mean, you know what I mean? I give him what he needs, not what he wants. You know what I mean?
That's
because
right.
When I was getting it while I was in there, I continuously did wrong. You know what I mean? And I know if I didn't have it, you know, I would have did better.
It depends on what they call tough love. I mean,
Exactly. You know, and what I love about him is, you know, what I love about him is he understands the tough love that I give him. So I feel he's ready to change. You know what I mean? I feel he's ready to change. You know, but go ahead, Philly. Finish talking, big brother.
I mean, I was pretty good on that, man. You know what I mean? I'm just, you know.
All right. Well, let me bring my brother Haas in. This brother been real intricate to me. He's been helping me out every week with everything that I do. You know what I mean? And I appreciate him. I love him. He became my brother. He's the one who introduced me to Miss T. You know what I mean? And, you know, a lot of other people, the other brothers is the ones that hit me up in the DM, but I had to have my brother up here because I could count on him every week, every day. You know what I mean? Big Hassan, thank you, brother. And happy Thanksgiving to you and everyone on the panel and everyone watching.
Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. What up, bro? Salute, man.
Thank you. Peace and love to everybody on the panel. You know what I mean?
Hassan, speak on how you got involved with me and this platform. I don't even know how it begun. You know what I mean?
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, we met through my brother. You know what I mean? We met through my brother, you know, and you know, big shout out to Spank, no doubt, you know, and it was divine intervention of the universe, you know, because you know, I've been, you know, Miss T, you know, I've been, you know, I dedicated my life to, you know, to trying to, you know, to uplift the youth in the community, you know what I'm saying, you know, and I changed my life around, and, you know, I knew that, you know, it was going to take somebody like yourself, you know what I mean, to do exactly what you're doing, because what happens is, you know, the damage is so profound. You know what I mean? What happens is, you know, like the brother said, you know, the brother with the glass, I've got his name, You know what I mean? Like he said, you know, they took the warrior class. They, you know, they destroyed us. You know, they took us in the 90s. They took us away. You know, purposely to fill those prisons that that they had made. You know, and part of redeeming myself is because my actions and my lifestyle, you know, that helped influence my brother to end up doing 13 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? 13 years in the feds. You follow what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, this is redemption for me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this really like brought life into me because, you know, I would never, you know, I could be up here talking about a whole lot of other stuff, nostalgic stuff that you know, and stories like that. But you know, that's not important. That's damaging our community. You know, people don't understand that's damaging our community. Like, you know, talking about people getting money 30 years ago and this, that, and the other. You know, and some of these same guys is out here in the street right now, and nobody got no respect for them. You know what I mean? And the problem is that, you know, we feed our children a lie. You know, we didn't show them anything. You know what I'm saying? We let them down by not showing them anything. We thought we were showing them the right way. You know what I mean? Because we had limited choices and options. You know what I mean? But we didn't know that we were sending our children down the wrong route. You know what I mean? And what happens is that, you know what I'm saying, in Ezekiel, in the book of Ezekiel, it says that, you know, if you when you save a sinner, you remove a multitude of sins. You know what I'm saying? So unique, you up here, you know what I'm saying? You saving sinners. So, you know what I'm saying? You redeeming yourself. You know what I mean? You doing what the chance that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know this brother, but I had a lot of respect for him. Tukey Williams was trying to do. You know what I'm saying? They didn't let him get a chance to hit the streets so he could redeem, to try to correct some of those wrongs that he did. You know what I'm saying? When he tried to create something good in the community and it turned into something bad. You know what I mean? So what happens is that this is what's needed. Like the brother said, we got to make sure that being righteous, being fly is being righteous. That looks good because they damaged our image. They took our image and they destroyed it. And now what happens? Everyone's afraid of us. Just like Miss T said, you know, we got to worry about the young men going to the store. We got to worry about them. You know what I'm saying? The police going to shoot. This is chaos. We have total anarchy in our communities. And all of this because of the lifestyle and the culture that, you know what I'm saying, that they've given us, you know, that we've embraced, that we didn't know, you know what I'm saying, because they remixed, you know what I'm saying, because they know we are one of need. They know that we are one of aspirations. You know what I mean? So they take our aspirations, you know what I'm saying? They take our aspirations and they direct them in a certain direction, and they say you can only live by the gun, only live by have a bunch of women, only live if, you know what I'm saying, you're only a man if you've been to jail. How you only a man if you've been to jail? You only a man if you're taking care of your children. You follow what I'm saying? That's how you a man. You know what I mean? But what happens is that they've socialized this bravado, like this character. They take brothers like me and you and turn this into a character. You know, I remember like Miss T said, I worked in workforce development. And when I worked in workforce development, you right, brothers can't read, brothers can't write. Their handwriting is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And there's no disrespect. And what happens is that I do the same way when a brother told me when he first gave me a gun. You understand what I'm saying? He said, he showed me the gun. I ain't know how to open it. He said, hold on, brother. Let me show you how to do it. You know what I'm saying? He talked to me the same way your mama talked to you about how you cook your food in the morning. So what happens is you nurtured into being a gangster. You get nurtured into being a gangster. What happens is you find yourself being more productive in the street than you find yourself being in the classroom. You follow what I'm saying? So what happens is that, you know what I'm saying, this becomes part of you. You say, you know, this is my identity. You may make this part of your identity because you don't have one. You understand what I'm saying? But we have to realize that, you know, that we come from greatness. We have to study our history. What happens is, and we have to start leading the example, and it has to start somewhere. We can't keep saying that, you know, the young kids ain't listening. The young kids ain't listening because we ain't telling them nothing. You know what I'm saying? We tell them what the OGs told me when I was younger, but it was a different time. It was like, you know what I'm saying, get money. When you get back at the white man, get money. But you understand what I'm saying? Because we were starving. You know what I'm saying? What happens is we were starving back there. You know, we was going up on sugar water, mayonnaise sandwiches. Even people with good jobs ain't really having like that. So you know what I'm saying? So what happens in the 90s, when I came home in the 90s, and you know what I'm saying, and I saw the, you know, the change in wealth in the black community. You know what I'm saying? And we got a lot of disposable income that we not using it in productively. You know what I'm saying? We're not using it productively, and we have to use our income productively. We have to start repairing our image. We have to start loving. You know, I work in school. You know what I mean? I work in school as a substitute teacher. I work in school. The kids is hurting. The kids is hurting. You just follow what I'm saying? Because they got to put on this bravado to say I got to survive in these streets. I got to put on this bravado to say I got to, you know what I'm saying, to find out what being a man is. You know what I'm saying? Because I am a man. Well, what is that about? You follow what I'm saying? The same way I had to learn it. Miss T said it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the irony of the thing is now is that prior, when I was a young man and I had to learn how to be a man, I had to pick up from other men. But I learned from men that was real and tangible to me right there in front of me. You follow what I'm saying? I learned from gangsters. Unfortunately, but they were entrepreneurs, unfortunately. But you know what I'm saying? But what happens is that now the young men are learning from characters. These are characters. You know what I'm saying? And no disrespect to an entertainer. You know what I'm saying? But you got to place them where they're supposed to be. Like they always been in the soundtrack, back in the soundtrack. You follow what I'm saying? Because they not living the lives. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? What happens is that, you know, we got brothers back there. You know what I'm saying? I remember my job. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to brother Ken Do. You know what I'm saying? Allenwood. You know what I'm saying? It's brothers back there trying. You know what I'm saying? Trying to shoot out, trying to help the kids. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they got their own thing. They got life sentences on the back of them. So you know what I'm saying? We gotta help them. We gotta support them. You follow what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? What happens is you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dre the Boss. You know what I'm saying? Because shout out to Boogie, because we gotta support them. We can't forget our fallen comrades. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's why the game changed. It's no more loyalty. It's no more loyalty. You know, it's nobody putting going to nobody's moms. It's giving them no money. This, that, and the other. You follow what I'm saying? But we gotta start cooperate. All that's over with. And you know, that's why I'm not here to talk about all them old day stuff, because that's killing us. That's poisoning us. You follow what I'm saying? Because we living in the past and these people going on to the future. We got to go start working towards the future, because you know what I'm saying? We dealing with mental illness. Why are we dealing with mental illness? Because from childhood, we not developing the child's critical analysis. We not developing the frontal lobe of the brain. You follow what I'm saying? Critical analysis is what everybody's doing now. Is judging the conversation that we have. You follow what I'm saying? Is this truth or is this false? You follow what I'm saying? So it's different. It's regions to the brain, and they go through development as it's from childhood as a stage. So if you're not developing the regions of the brain through the proper, you know, sensory development and cognitive development, then what happens is, yeah, you're gonna have people. It's hard for them to concentrate. It's hard for them to focus. It's hard for them to listen to read a book. It's hard for them to do a lot of things. Then you got the other barriers. You say Ms. T said, no ID. You don't know where to go. You don't have encouragement. I used to work in workforce development. I used to tell somebody come down from the projects to come right down the block, and it'll take them 3 hours. But I understand. I'm from the projects. I know what it is to come downstairs in front of your building, and next thing you know, you caught up in this and that, and this, that, and the other. So how you gonna get to the job interview? How you gonna get to wherever you got to go? Because the environment around you is not supportive of it. You know what I'm saying? When I was in the street and I would see brothers go get a job, and I said, "Oh man, why you going to go get a job?" Then I said I was gonna look out for you. I said, "Oh, you know what I'm saying? Go change your clothes." You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have that for you. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't know I was corrupting them. I was corrupting these people. You follow what I'm saying? And I'm thinking I'm giving it a helping hand. You say, well, you know better, you do better, but we don't understand, because we living in a dynamic that we preying on each other. We living on a dynamic, you know what I'm saying, where even the help is hurt. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that, you know what I'm saying, with Brother Unique creating a platform like this for us to come together, for us to be able to, you know, to make being smart cool, to make loving your brother cool, to make, you know what I'm saying, respecting each other cool. That's what we doing. That's what we want to live. That's the legacy we want to live when we want to leave. You follow what I'm saying? We got to make this cool. We got to change the dynamic, because the OGs are sending the boys out to, you know what I'm saying, to catch these bids, and the mothers is hurting. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's hurting. The community is hurting. You follow what I'm saying? Somebody goes to jail, the whole community is lost the dynamic, because that's somebody even in the little people with the kids was looking up to at some point in time. So I'm thankful, and I'm so humble to be up here, to be with Brother Unique, to be speaking up here, to give y'all the message, man, because I've been working at this, and this is not about me. This is about our community. This is about the people that worked before us. This is about respecting Marcus Garvey. This is about respecting Martin Luther King. This is about respecting X. This is about respecting Matula Shakur. And you think about it, when you bring it back to how the universe brought Unique to me, I wrote Matula Shakur, because I said, yo, everybody out here is faking, man. These is fake leaders. And the Unique was on to walk the yard with them. So you follow what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I was looking for direction. You know what I'm saying? Even with the change, I'm still looking for for direction. You know what I'm saying? And we can never say that, you know, I grew up without a father. You always going to need a father. You always going to need an elder. You always going to, you know what I'm saying? And God sent you fathers. So what happens is don't reject the father that he sends you, because he'll send you one. You know what I'm saying? Psalms 27:10 says, if my mother and father forsake me, God will lift me up. So he'll send you people. He sent me mothers. He sent me fathers. He sent me Mamie Grimes. You follow what I'm saying? So what happens is that I became a better man when you start, and it takes you reflecting being behind them cages. A lot of times it takes you reflecting being behind them cages. You know what I'm saying? So you have the time period, but we got to make sure that we got these lyceums here. Lyceum is a college. It's Greek for a college. We got to have these out here on these streets. We got to make sure we be taking charge out here, because you know what I'm saying? We sending them back there, and you know what I'm saying? We destroying our children, man. We destroying our youth. We destroying our communities. Our sisters is afraid of us. Our children is afraid of us. And you know what I'm saying? We got to hold some type of etiquette. If you want to respect the biggest gangster, if you want to be a gangster, respect the biggest black one. Bumpy Johnson, what he did, he had order in Harlem. He kept order in the hood. You follow what I'm saying? But what happens, we got no order. We got nothing but chaos. You follow what I'm saying? And if you want to respect a gangster, respect Meyer Lansky. Meyer Lansky was the biggest gangster, and he over all the Italians, and he was a Jew. Why? Because he controlled the money. You follow what I'm saying? But we're not going to control no money unless we start cooperating. We got to cooperate. We keep wanting to get signed. We want to keep signed by corporate America. But what happened is corporate America is cooperating America. Americans are cooperating to get their chips up. We need to cooperate to get our chips up. When we see our entertainers got to go get signed after being 30 years in the business, and y'all can't put enough money together to put your own product out, we got to question that. You know what I'm saying? We fall in love with a lot of superstars and this, that, and the other. But if you look at the economic portfolio, it doesn't match up. And because they doing better than us, and we sitting here in C-class housing, we got to know what C-class housing. C-class housing is how they use to pimp us, because they know we're gonna live in these apartments for all our lives. They know that we never gonna be able to afford homes. So what happens is the dominant culture, you know what I'm saying? They use the broke ones. They say, I'm gonna invest in the hood. We watching the broke ones invest in our community. This is not the rich people. And what happens is psychologically, they know that we're not going to do anything. You be putting your hard-earned pennies to gentrify our neighborhood, knowing that you're safe, because the brothers and sisters is not going to attack you. They're going to attack each other. You follow what I'm saying? They're going to attack each other. They so conditioned to want to attack each other. So we got to be thankful for Unique, because a lot of these platforms is middle-aged men talking about old stuff that's not relevant anymore, and it's not pushing our kids into the future. It's not pushing our kids into what we need to, because as we get older, we become elders. When you know what I'm saying, when we become elders, we want to make sure that when we become elders, that when we see our doctor, there's a doctor named Leroy. It's a doctor named Malik. It's a doctor named Joey. It's a doctor, you know what I'm saying? Because what happens is that we don't understand that we are not pushing our children into the right industries to make sure that we have a niche in these industries. We're not pushing them into technology. We're not pushing them into medicine. We're not pushing them into engineering. We're not pushing them into philosophy. We're not pushing them into nothing but dancing and playing basketball and whatever the case may be like that. But that's the fool's game. That's the bottom of the food chain when you look at this game. We want to be tailors, or we wear a clothes designer. A clothes design is the bottom of the food chain. A hairstyle is the bottom of the food chain. There's nothing wrong with being that. We're not disrespecting that, but we need engineers. We need math teachers. We need philosophers. We need think tanks. This is what we need in our community. And Unique has created a platform. God bless Unique, because he's created a platform for us to be here, to sit together so young people can get this message, to reach this brother and reach these other brothers, because it don't stop. It's not a one-day thing. It's a lifestyle. You got to live and breathe it. And once you start living and believing yourself, then you can put them streets alone. Because it took me believing in myself to put them streets alone. You know what I'm saying? So I realized, I said, the hustle ain't the product. The hustle is me. I'm the hustle. So when you realize that you're the product, that you can walk in these places with the confidence, but you got to take the time out. You got to take the time out. I remember when I was in my undergrad and my man Black told me, he said, you got to do some things that you never did to go places that you never go. Shout out to Cool Black from 131st Street. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens, you got to do, and you can't be afraid. I raised my kids. I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know what that was about. I was fresh out the can. But you know what? I knew I had to do the right thing. And all of us got grandmothers. All of us got mothers and aunties and somebody that says something, yo, do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because we out here breaking their hearts. See, well, I'm a victim of the system. So I understand. I seen the brothers coming outside running from their mother because they want to be on the block, trying to prove manhood, trying to do all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Destroying their future. You follow what I'm saying? And you know, and what happens is they setting you up so later on you can't get Social Security. They setting you up so later on you can't get housing. They setting you up so later on you don't got credit. They setting you up. It's the setup. And all you want to do is be cool, but you really looking like a fool. You know what I'm saying? And and I'm gonna let somebody else get on, but I'm thankful for Unique. You know what I'm saying? Because this brother he's turned the tide. He's changed the paradigm. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever time we see something like this, even if some black brothers, they not like us, they not talking like us. They don't went to school for diction. They don't went to school for public speaking. You know what I'm saying? When we watch these brothers, here go a brother that come walk the same walk, live the same life we live. And that's more powerful than anything. You understand what I'm saying? And if a lot of those other brothers that want to hate on him, if you know what I'm saying, if you follow his suit, you'll have some longevity with your careers, because he got longevity, because he said self-sacrificing. He's not thinking about him, he's thinking about someone else. And whenever you work for God, the Bible says whenever you work for God, God will always make sure that he comes through, baby. And go ahead, Unique, take the floor, baby.
Hey man, that was real, man. Salute, bro.
It's for everybody to speak. You know what I mean? It's my platform, but Thanksgiving, and today is the day that we all speak. You know?
That's right.
To save each other.
That's right.
So I put this together so we have some place to go where we can feeling down. Something to lift us.
That's right.
Something to elevate us instead of bringing us down. We don't need to tear each other down as black men. So we're already tore down. We're at the bottom.
Exactly.
We've been at the bottom of the food chain. You know what I mean? And if we all come together, we can go rise above it. And that's why they had no problem giving us unemployment, Social Security, and everything else. As long as you take those crumbs, you're going to stay away from the kitchen table.
Exactly. The SSI checks, you know what I mean? All of that stuff.
You know what I mean? I said, I don't eat Thanksgiving dinner. I don't go to the child hall on Thanksgiving. I don't go to the child hall on Christmas. Do you know that they gave us last year Cornish hen in the prison? They fed us like trash the whole year. Cornish hen, and I saw it was all in the USA Today. Oh, they feed them Cornish hen and they're in prison, and no one out here has food, and it's a pandemic. It's all this stuff going on. Man, so you starved us all year.
Exactly.
You starved us all year. Now
exactly.
You pigeon that you took off the back plate. I mean, let's keep it 100, man. You know, but everybody used to be like, come on, Unique, come on, man, come give me a tray, give me a tray. No, I'm not going to eat it, so I'm not going to disrespect you and give it to you.
Right.
And they can't even comprehend that right there, though, bro. You don't even understand.
And that's discipline. That's discipline. See, that's discipline. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Good bird. Go ahead, big brother. Speak, young.
A lot of times, this is what I believe. A lot of times, right? Like we were taught in school, right? Fundamentally, like to keep studying and apply for things, right? But unless you apply for life hands-on, a lot of times you won't succeed. Because it's like this, right? One thing I learned about myself is like I learned that I can never work for anyone. So I want to apply for life. Then I started to realize, I did a little bit of research. I realized it didn't cost that much to have a business license. It didn't cost that much to form an LLC. It don't cost that much to have a vision. Money is a plus when you start a business, but you have to do a little bit of research on like backtracking, like all of y'all are individuals just like me. It's nothing that y'all could do great that I don't think that I can do because you're just like me. So I watched somebody and I read his book, Don King. And when Don King made Rumble in the Jungle happen, It's about collaboration because he ain't have no money. He wanted he used his lips because he was naturally something else, right? But he had harnessed that energy that he did use to do something negative, right? And he did something in a positive way and brought him $1. You know, like, all right, I'm gonna show y'all something real fast. This is what I market, right? Realistically. And y'all would laugh. Anybody that's ever been to jail have seen these potato chips before. They're the whole things. I sell these on the street. And people used to laugh at first. At first, when I first came home, they said, "What are you making a commissary?" And they made jokes. But everybody that tells me they make $25 an hour at their job, I said, Uncle Sam want 40%. So
that's right.
You really make about 12. And he don't trust you because you're the employee. I'm the boss. I get to pay my taxes on the other end. He pays his taxes off the top because you have no vision, so you might forget to pay him. I said, so when I sell my chips all day, I said it paid the bills and make sure the baby's all right. And I ain't got to worry about waking up in plastic handcuffs in the morning. They searching all my loved ones' houses no more. I don't have to worry about that. But hold on real fast. I'll show it to y'all. Hold up.
We're going to let him come back. Somebody want to say something till he get back? How you doing?
Well,
you've been listening real good. Tell us what you think of the platform being this your first time here and what you get. Oh, wait, hold on. He back. We're going to let you close out. 1 second, Miss T. Let him finish. He want to show his thing. He back. Go ahead, big bro.
All right. It's like this, right? I remember, right? Dudes wouldn't fight over the noodles, right? But if you didn't order their chips, and they were small bags of chips, you really had issues in the institution. So when I came outside, first thing I did, I said, man, where are these chips at? So people like, get the Carolina chips. I said, it's not the same. So I ordered the chips, and I put them out there. Well, you got to believe in yourself first. All the naysayers, they want to cop that behind my back. Yes, they cop my style. But I like good competition. It make me look good because I'm consistent with this. I always have them. Hey, anyway, back to you guys.
Hey man, big up to you for doing your thing.
Amen. God bless you, brother. Yes.
That's an intelligent guy right there, man.
It was conventional. A lot of things we learned, like, think about it. They don't teach our kids tax laws in school. But when they get out of school, they have to get a job. You tell them to go to college, right? So they can be in debt. And a person like Unique that couldn't read, right? I'm pretty sure when you needed a lawyer for the contract, right? They've been to school, right? You paid them and they had to read the contract because he applied himself to a life first, because it's about the vision. They try to tell you a whole lot of different things. First thing you have to do is use your common sense. What might be good for him might not be good for me. See, Unique life is different. His lifestyle could be different. I live my own life, but his blueprint could be an awesome blueprint. I can sit up here and talk all day and make $1. At one point in time, you couldn't do this. It was just loitering. I can sit and play video games and make $1. I don't have to pay for a studio. Dad pay me for a studio. It's $1. Incorporate yourself. You'll start to wonder why people stay rich. You need them hats. You can write all them hats off. You can say it was wardrobe. You're a model.
Oh, we already,
yeah. It's all in how you visualize yourself. And please believe me, brother, people don't read books no more like that because they like, it's just too much. Because you still got 24 hours in a day. But it's always something you always can learn from somebody. Cause I sit on here and I visualize Unique and I capture in every time. He has good sense because you know why? He uses common sense. Nobody uses common sense because number one, when you're sheep, right? You're led.
When I was locked up, I learned the phrase about common sense. It's common sense ain't all that common.
That's right. Roy and Harlem.
All right.
It is. All right. It'll save your life.
Right. You said what you said, Philly Blood? What you said, Philly Blood? Philly Blood, what you say?
In jail, there was a phrase some OGs taught me. Common sense ain't all that common.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't.
A lot of people don't have common sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to acquire that. And then you have to be willing to implement it into your life. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they just don't even know what common sense means, man. I mean,
and you know, I'm gonna tell you what an old timer told me. God bless the dead Robert Conyers. And he told me life will give you a test. Life will give you the test before it give you the lesson. You know what I mean? And
Yo,
you know
that's
what
a
I'm
fact,
saying?
bro.
You know what I mean? And then you know what? I'm gonna say the words from, Miss Carrie Ann Stewart. You know what I'm saying? You're only responsible for the effort. You ain't responsible for the outcome. You know what I mean? Now, I done been through a lot of schools and whatever. I read a lot of philosophers, because I read a lot. You know what I mean? That's what saved my life. You know what I mean? And what happens is that nothing outweighs the learning I learned on these streets, but we gotta have both. You know what I mean? You gotta have both. You know what I'm saying? So and if you have one, if you get the other one, then what happens is that it'll push you further. You know what I'm saying? But what happens is we so caught it with being cool. You know what? We gotta understand that they doing studies on this thing called anthropology. Anthropology is studying groups of people, studying different ethnic groups. You know what I mean? So we're being studied. So you know what I'm saying? We're being studied to know how to maneuver us. That's what marketing is. Marketing is finding out what a certain group of people likes. You know what I'm saying? That's why we got sunflower seeds and barbecue sunflower seeds, because they know we like ranch and barbecue. This is marketing. They studying us. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to understand. We got to study them. You know what I mean? We gotta start promoting an image that helps, you know what I'm saying, our young men start resolving problems, start resolving, you know what I'm saying? And it takes self-discipline. You know what I mean? That's what fast is about. Fast is about self-discipline, about resisting temptation. Just like Miss T said, we got to learn how to teach them how to walk the walk. Because what happens is just telling them to say, yo, go do it is not enough. You know what I'm saying? It'll take you going down there with them. I'm going down to the courts with the young men. I sat in 161st Street with them. You know what I'm saying? With certain young men that I knew from the street. Why? Because you know what? Because they needed the guidance. You know what I'm saying? I know what it feels to be going in the courtroom. You know what I'm saying? And I got a paid lawyer, but I'm still looking for him. You know what I'm saying? I done paid him, but I'm still looking for him. You know what I mean? Right. And then I know how it feels to be in the courtroom, and now you see your friends in the courtroom, and you trying to avoid them. I remember Big Tony, God bless the dead. Big Tony, I remember, you know what I'm saying? He can't sit in the courtroom next to me. I try to shrink in the courtroom. I said, I don't need to know you right now. I don't want to get remanded. You follow what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? So what happens is this is real. Like I always had an issue with hip hop, because you know what I'm saying, certain things, because I cannot glamorize, you know what I'm saying, how it feels, you know what I'm saying, having them drugs on you and you gotta make moves from state to state. I cannot glamorize, you know what I'm saying, holding a gun on you. I cannot glamorize, you know what I'm saying, all these nefarious behaviors. Then we gotta look at the contradictory nature of these people that we do glamorize. Last year, a woman in Harlem, her house burned down in Harlem on 7th Avenue. I think it was on 42nd. You follow what I'm saying? The woman's house burned down. You know what I'm saying? It's about 6 children died in the fire. Who stepped up and gave that woman some money? I'm from Harlem. Unique from Harlem. We know we from a time period. All you had to do was send a word out in the blocks and people will be sending her money. You follow what I'm saying? So what happens is that we callous. We're not helping each other. You know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect to nobody, because if you don't know, do something about it. We got to do something about it. And this platform here is to show you to do something about it. This platform here is to stop telling our kids to get high and hold guns and this, that, and the other, because you destroying your future. You destroying your own future, because these children are our future. You young men are our future. We need y'all. We need y'all to have stable relationships. Because stable relationships mean strong communities. You know what I'm saying? Racism is how got us fight, men and women fighting together, because the kids is growing up with mommy over here and daddy over here. And then they create words like co-parenting. That's a new word. What happens, they bring out words. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is that, you know what I'm saying, children need the balance. You follow what I'm saying? Children need love. You know what I'm saying? And when these children, you know what I'm saying, they're growing up with this anger. They're growing up with this misplaced anger, and they don't know how to direct it. You know what I'm saying? Because they have this self-hate. We hating ourselves. We don't love the black people that we see. And that's the problem. We got to love each other. You follow what I'm saying? We got to feel safe around each other. You know what I'm saying? We got to be able to walk down and say, I know I'm safe. That's just a brother behind me. But it hurts me as a black man when a woman feels uncomfortable around me because I'm getting on the elevator with her, or I'm walking behind her going in the building. Well, I didn't create that image. You follow what I'm saying? That's the image that someone took of me to make her feel uncomfortable, and the behavior that brothers have perpetrated in the community. We got to stop scaring our children. Don't you know those gunshots they scaring our children, man. Don't you know all of this wild stuff is scaring our children? They scared to grow up. They scared to grow up. And the sad thing is, the ones that ain't, all they doing is replacing the last crew of dudes that was on the corner. You follow what I'm saying? That's all they doing to be the next crew that's gonna go to the jails. You follow what I'm saying? So what happens is we gotta cut this cycle. And I added enough to it. I contributed enough to it. You know what I mean? I contributed enough to it through so many different ways. So that's why I've dedicated my life. We gotta change it. And all these brothers here, it took a lot for y'all to come up here. Y'all real men, because a lot of men don't want to come up here and, you know what I'm saying, be humble. Everybody want to be cocky with the bravado. Unique is a real man because it's not about to be being cocky with the bravado. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know what I'm saying, when your children need you, your mama needs you, when you got, you know what I'm saying, when, you know what I'm saying, when you got to do things around your household, these are things that are necessity. You know what I'm saying? It's brother. I remember when I was a kid, I was paying bills from the joint. You follow what I'm saying? So what happens is even, and you know what I'm saying? So even then, you know what I'm saying? My responsibility didn't even stop. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. Even behind the wall, brothers still have that urge, that desire to try to provide for their families. So we got to start, you know what I'm saying? So we got to start, you know what I'm saying, understanding, you know what I'm saying, all these things. And another thing, brothers got to stop coming home and thinking somebody owed them something. You owe yourself something. You follow what I'm saying? You owe yourself something. You know what I'm saying? Going to the days you came home with a big party. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Miss T, you have something to say, like you're trying to say something, sis? Oh, your mic's muted or something. Hold up.
The mic's muted.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you. I have to get ready to go soon because I got to get in this kitchen.
Okay, well, you give us a closing then, so that you can let them know what you think of the program and these brothers that have elevated from being a part of this program and watching this program since I've been home 6 months. What is your assessment?
Well, see, I just learned that. I just learned that you were home for 6 months. I didn't know how long you've been home. This platform is wonderful. I'm glad now that I'm a part of it, that I know about it, so I can tell others, because I have a platform. I have a lot of followers, so at least I can bring them here also, because this is new to me. You know, I do this at work. To the point where before I was an officer, I was just a parent at the table with the same people that I'm at the table with now as an officer, right? So the thing is, coming from my father being born into the system, him doing 7 years of my life when I was born, that, you know, that's an impact on me. Like, I'm the same person that had a GED, that didn't have a GED and had my children. Then I went and got my GED, I got my bachelor's, I got my master's. And I did that at 30.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So
That's right, Miss T.
you know, it's never too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, I made a way. I've never been on welfare, and I'm thankful for that. I used to tell them that I was in school, and for whatever reason, that used to get me through. You know, so I tell the youth now, it's never too late. And my biggest thing is always ask. So this platform that you're giving, Unique, helps people ask. If you're telling me that people are in your DM, they're looking for help. So I'm holding all of you guys. I'm holding Unique accountable, all the young men that I've met here, myself accountable, whoever's watching. We are accountable for what's happening right now. So if we just leave it here, what happens is, I don't know how long it's been going, but it has to leave from here. It has to continue, has to progress. So we all have to be resourceful. We all have to reach out and bring others to this panel to help, because it should grow. Like next week or the weeks coming, this should be so many different people with so many different resources, because we can tell our stories, right? We can do storytelling all day. But next time I come here, I want to be able to give you a phone number for your brother or for your cousin or for somebody in the community. I want to come back and say, this is the number to get this for free. This is the number for you to get a tie. This is how you go get, you can't get a New York State ID, but you can get the New York City ID. This is how you do that. So this needs to be more informative, and this is just constructive from where I'm sitting at, of saying that I love everybody's story, you know, but we have to progress, right?
Yes,
because they heard this stuff before. So it's more importantly that we be more resourceful than storytellers. That is really, really important. Sitting amongst
resources, yeah, that's real.
And probationers There's a difference between parolees and probationers. Probationers are given a chance and they only go to jail. They don't go to prison. So they go and think that's a walk in the park until right now it's a lot of gang war going on, right? But they're they're saying I'm gonna be secure in there because they think that they homie is gonna hold them down, but they homie is switching when they go in there because all these different gangs are changing. So when they go in there and fear and they're in the wrong house, they changing. So then I might have somebody that's going in after that's like, nah, my man is in there and he gonna hold it down. I'm like, yo, wait, when's the last time you spoke to him? He's not that same person no more. Right? So everybody's looking for somebody to hold them down. So this platform that Unique is given, I'm taking from it that this is for somebody to hold them down. They on here, you guys are on here for us to hold them down in a different capacity. Because where they're leading in a positive way, because where they're going and they think that those people, they think that their brothers are going to be there for them. That's the same thought that they had when they went in there and they got flipped on. They getting flipped on, cut. They going upstate. They turning Muslim. They doing shock. They doing anything to stay out the way because whatever they doing out here, they glorifying that. So we got to be mindful, even when we telling our stories, right? We got to be mindful that there's somebody still sitting there glorifying, like, yeah, he talking all that shit. I got to experience it first, right? So we have to be resourceful, like the young man. I'm sorry, I don't remember
your number one addiction.
Your number one addiction. Like his idea is he come out with potato chips. Like I remember eating the cookies from there. Those cookies, I don't remember the name, but those cookies was official. So I could imagine somebody out here selling
You
those
talking about
cookies.
Drake's?
Huh?
The Drake's cookies?
Yeah, those
Remember
cookies
Drake's growing up? That was the crack.
those cookies, you know what I'm saying? So that's an idea. So that's instrumental to somebody that's sitting here watching, like, yo, I never thought of that. You know, so what I would like to see from this Unique with everybody coming together is to be resourceful. Like, let's all get on here and say, this is what I got for you guys. I can't stay long, but I'm gonna leave this number up. This is gonna be pinned. I'm gonna leave this email up, or ask Unique these questions. Tell Unique, yo, Unique, I saw so-and-so on here. You think that they could do this? They think that we need to start letting them know that it's okay to ask for help. This platform is making it okay to ask for help.
Exactly.
And, you know, I applaud all of you guys on here. Unique, I thank you for having me. Bro Hassan, I thank you for reaching out to me. I know you was calling me. Me and him went to undergrad, you know, and then we went on. We grad students, like, you know, we elevate. So when we're on here, that's what we need to say. I need to tell a young person that I didn't have a diploma. I had my kid, my son at 17 years old. My son went to Rikers Island. My son did time. So there's your story, right? And then there's my son right now out there inside the same community saying, don't make this mistake, right? Oh, you a gang member? Okay, just tuck your beads in. Turn it on and turn it off. If you use that for protection, that's what you do. But right now, you in here, pull your pants up. So we need to be holding them accountable. My kids get mad. I tell somebody in front of me in a minute, pull your pants up. Stop talking like that, young man. That's so disrespectful. You know they like that? I have nobody ever turned around and said, fuck you, or mind your business, or who you talking to, or invited me to their private. It's just how I'm treating you like a human. I respect myself, so I respect you. And then you shouldn't speak like that. So it starts there. So what I want this platform to do is take it from here. Like, we don't just go to sleep and tomorrow's Thanksgiving and we have fun. And
Right.
I think everybody has a responsibility, being that we're coming from this platform. I think that Unique is paying it forward. So we need to pay it forward. It don't need to just wait for Wednesday night to get on here and hoorah and talk. Like, we need to walk this same thing, because this is what I do every day, and it's not just a job for me. So when I get Miss T, thank you, you changed my life. That changes my life. That wakes me up every day and say, continue to work, no matter how it looks, right? Because when you sit down and you talk to me, you'll say, you know what? She's not that officer, right? So there are different types of officers out here, and I'm that person. But I want to be a part of this platform. I gotta even make sure that this was okay. I don't even know. I just said, okay, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? So, Unique, I want to thank you for having me. making me a part of this. I look forward to coming back. I look forward to being resourceful. I look forward to paying it forward and letting them know that this is going on, and whoever that I can bring to the table that can help so we can branch off from this and make it bigger. I would be more than happy to do that. You know, next year we could all be cooking for each other and eating together and baking bread together and selling Drake's cookies and potato chips and you know,
right.
I hope that we can bring our ideas together and that we can help the young people and we can go out and these guys that never even left the borough. Like the things that they're telling them to do, go to 30th Street and get a job at Subways. Miss, what you talking about? Like, how am I going to do that? On 2/5, right? So we got to start addressing when they can't go across the street. We got to give them another way. So it's important for us to take this platform and move. So I'm willing to be a part of your team or your army or whatever. Excuse me.
God bless you.
Okay, I want y'all to know that first thing I had to learn when I was doing time is that I had to love the hell that I was going through in order to be right. You know, I got that from my lessons, you know what I mean, as a 5%er. You know, we must love the hell that we go through in order to be right, you know, and know that no one could judge you because you're in charge of your cipher. Anything you allow to happen, you allowed it to happen. You know what I mean? You have the control. You understand what I'm saying? And I just want everyone to know that, man, happy Thanksgiving. I appreciate you for coming, so I'm not gonna hold you up because I know you're a mother and probably a wife good as you looking. So you got
grandma.
And no, don't say no grandmother. We ain't trying to
grandma.
That's crazy. You don't look like no grandma.
You know what I mean? Hey,
crazy.
But we're gonna talk to you later on with Hassan as far as for next week when we put something together. There's a lot of people up here, but I just wanted the old heads that's telling me that the youngins is not listening to hear the youngins. Let's see if the old heads is listening to the youngins that they are listening.
Oh, we're listening.
But
we definitely listen.
Right.
Instead of trying to fight me, your old heads, you're welcome to come on here with me because I need you too. The youngins need you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't need to be bashing each other and you know what I mean? All of that. I need you. I'm asking y'all to come on and help. You're welcome to the platform. You know what I mean? As you see, I let everyone speak when we up here. You know what I mean? You have to hear everyone so that we can grow together as one. You know? Now, I'm telling you now, I've been sitting here, I read all the comments and I pay attention just like I check my DMs. Beats Designer hit me at Mecca Stream. Mecca Stream at Gmail. I'm going to use you. Or let me watch that because they nitpick at everything I say, Miss T. So we're going to take the word use. You know what I mean? Well, I'm going to work with you, you know, so I'll give it stock so that we can teach the brothers and sisters how to invest in stocks because I've seen, you know, I'm excited over here. And I'm excited because I love when the brothers is trying to give back with me. That's why I said anyone is welcome to come on here, contact me in a positive note. And this is what we're going to do over here, man. You know what I mean? Like I said, I came home. That's you, Miss T?
Oh no, that's my grandson. That's my that's my grandson. Mute the mic. That's my grandson. That's my grandson. That's my grandson.
Over there, family.
Oh man, I'm ready to get Miss to rap, but I'm getting ready to close it up. We've been on here almost 2 hours, man. But your Beats Designer hit me up at Mecca Streams, and we're gonna set it up. And we'll pick an off day for you so you can get a whole hour because I know we're going to get a lot of comments on that. So maybe Saturday over this holiday, we could do something Saturday night or maybe even Sunday evening. We'll do something positive. Go ahead, Philly.
I just want to say, man, I appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, bringing us on this platform, man, you know what I'm saying, for myself, man. It's like life changing, man. It's like a breath of fresh air, brother. I appreciate you, man. You know what I mean? Like it means a lot to me personally, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, same here, Mr. Hall. Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate
Hopefully
you,
we can
Unique.
move forward.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Unique. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. And thank you, everyone, for coming. And Ernesto, I definitely didn't leave you in the shadow. Hit me up at Mecca Stream, and I'll bring you on here, and you can moderate and host the show. Because, like I said, you know what I mean? I need all the help I can get because it takes all of us. You know what I mean?
Yo, Earn Peso, what up, fam?
You know what I mean? You know,
Peso.
Peso the man, he always holds.
Okay.
Yeah, mute that, huh? Yeah, but like I said, Earn Peso, I appreciate you. He here always, and I see him on other platforms holding me down. And I appreciate y'all, man. Like I said, you know, we're gonna take it to the next level, man. And at the end of the day, we're gonna save the youth. You know what I mean? Because I feel they want to be saved. If they want to be saved, is welcome to come here. If you don't want to hear what we're saying here, please don't come. Don't with the trolling and all the negative stuff. We here trying to teach your nieces, nephews. So when you come on, you're stopping them from getting the knowledge, you know, and the wisdom when you come on with that. You know what I mean? Because you must know the ledge so that you don't fall off. I didn't know the ledge. You know what I mean? So I walked and balanced the rope, you know, in the manner that I knew. You know what I mean? But if I knew what the good brother Beats designer was saying, I damn sure wouldn't have did 26 years, and I would have had my master in the yacht a hell of a lot sooner instead of just starting now. Which, mark my words, I'm saying it here, I will get my master in the yacht back. You know what I mean?
All right,
brother.
I mean,
Amen to that.
All right.
Stop me. Ernesto, thank you. Miss T, thank you. Everybody been here. We've been on here more than long enough. I appreciate y'all. And anybody hit me at meccastream@gmail. Or Mecca Audio Business @gmail, and make sure show them the book, big brother. Barnett, show them the book of Roaring Harlem. Make sure you cop the book of Roaring Harlem so you understand who I am, so I don't have to continue to speak on it on this platform, so that y'all don't say that I'm showing off and going there and that. You know what I mean? But you have to know where I came from to know where I'm at today. You know what I mean? So you understand that I had nothing. I started with no education, made a bag of money, lost it all, and I'm starting all over. And I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm happy. I could be sitting in the cage with the brothers that I'm fighting like hell to try and get out that I left behind. You know what I mean? But instead, I'm on here trying to help where I'm supposed to be helping my daughter cook for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? But instead, I'm on here trying to help save someone. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Fighting someone.
You
know,
helping out, brother.
Meeting you, Miss T. We definitely gonna put a real joint together now that, you know what I mean? I see where you at. And I got another sister that's coming next week on Prison Time that you Prison Talk you're gonna love. Aisha Hall, no relation to me, but she's a beautiful, intelligent sister. She got locked up for making $10 million in 10 months. And then had to give damn near all of it back to go do 10 years. Impressive as that was, that wasn't worth it. But she working legal now, and she's been working with the Mecca Audio team. I appreciate her, you know, just like I appreciate you, and I'm looking forward to you meeting her, Miss T. You know what I mean? And I'm definitely gonna bring the good brother Beats designer up in so he can teach the youth about the stock market. You know what I mean, and how to invest the money. So look forward to that. And
Amen.
Long enough, man. Let's go. It's going on 2 hours. I love y'all.
Guys.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right.
All right.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
All right.
All right.